So I thought I'd go over how I retune these Astro Spectra UHF preselectors. It also would apply to a regular Spectra as well. So this is the preselector. It's ceramic, and you can see here that it has quite a sharp knee there, and in fact it's down 12 dB from the input. I'm inputting 0 dB. I'll go over the settings here, what I've got this set at. Let's see here. Okay, so I got a center of 460. I'm outputting 2 dB, but cable losses back into it shorted is 0 dB. 40 meg span, so I got 440 to 480 on the end here. I do have it in high sensitivity and 2 dB at division, which is of course in the corner there. So if we go here and go look at this, just roll this down just a little bit, you can see it rolls off quite sharply. Go up to, this is a 450 to 485, so it should, and same thing, it rolls off quite sharply at about 490. Okay. And marker. So yeah, about 12.5 dB down from, and once you get up, it's pretty flat all the way across. About 1.5. Once you get up into where it's supposed to be used, 450, you get under 2 dB. And I don't know what that is. I think it's a connector or a cable issue. It's there when I short it, so it's not anything to worry about. It's actually probably flat across, like it will occasionally show. Okay, so this is how I connect to it. I've got the output going to this coax, which I've got soldered also to the ground, and I've got input right here, so I got 0 dB going in here and 0 dBm. And then on the other side, I actually removed, if it'll focus, there is a a chip capacitor I removed right there, and that normally connects the output of that preselector to this trace here. I'm going to add a preamp to this. I've already kind of prepped it, and so my steps are basically remove that chip capacitor, and then I do this retuning of the preselector, and that's so that there's no other load on the end of that. That wouldn't be accounted for. I only want this. So, and the way I retune this is by using a little bit of this silver conductive pin. Now this is intended for drawing on circuit boards, but it also works great for this. I've also found that it is reversible if you use a Q-tip and alcohol. So that's quite good. So the way I do this is, so I watch my screen here, and I simply just touch the tip of the pen, get it in the focus dummy. This is not the best way to do this, but record. But okay, so I touched the end of the tip of the pin without actually putting any silver on it, and you can see it changes it. So it kind of gives me a preview of what I'm going to be doing. So then I go to the next one. Okay, Okay, so if I add material to that one, that's what'll happen. Okay, gives a preview of that one, and then that one. So I'm going to go to the first one, and I'm going to add a little bit. And I'll show you how little it takes to affect this. So I've added just a little dot to it, and as that dries, that should come up. Okay, it looks like we got 2 dB out of that. So it is going to, the bad thing about this is it is going to lower the rest of this, and I suspect that's because there's one more tuning point in here, but I'm not going to bother taking this off. So, yeah, that's the bad part. Well, seems to have evened out. It's about 1.6 there. That's about where it was. So, generally, I've found that instead of a best case of about 1.5, I find a best case of 2 after retuning, but since I'm adding the preamplifier that nullifies it, and it's much better to get this 10 dB back at 440 than worry about a half or even a full dB at 446 or something like that. So I'm going to check this one. Okay, let's look at this one. In my particular case, I also want to use it on GMRS, so I want to make sure that I'm not losing my 462, 467 too much. So I'm going to add a little bit to the last one. Let's see what that does. It takes a second to dry. This is what got me the first couple of times. This is my 6th one doing this. Is I would put some, not see it, and then it would not change. So I'd put more. You have to be patient for this silver to dry. I don't think I actually got that. Well, I guess it did come up a dB. So, let's see what this will do. Let's do it on that one. Let's do this. This is the second one. I call it the second one. It's actually the third, counting the one under the can. So I just added a little dot to that one as well. It's like watching paint dry. There it goes. Okay. Check this one. Okay, yeah, I want to do that, so we'll add a little bit to that one. Come on. Okay. That one's added, so I should see that now come up. There it goes, there it goes. Make 3. Okay. So I'm again checking all of these to see if I can get any more. So if I added maybe just a little bit to that one, I could maybe get what I want. Let's see. There. Neg 1.8. Neg 1.8-ish, 1.9. Neg 2.5 at 446, 2.3. So I don't know if I can get any more out of that. So this is the problem, is I think that first can is I call it a can, it's not really. Oh. Let's do that. That's that last one. Okay. Add a little bit there. I don't know if that actually did much. I'm going to add a little bit more to that one. I found on these, this is a late Astro. I found that, oh, god damn it, hold on. Get off there. I had a little boo-boo there. I fixed it in time to not have to see what that does. Oh. Like 2.3. Yeah, that's probably about as good as I'm gonna get. Let's see, adding some there doesn't work. No, that doesn't help at all. I don't want to do that. I'm gonna wait for it. Yeah, that's not gonna help either. So I'm gonna say that that's about, well, about as good as we're gonna get. Oh, look at that. Come on, stabilize. Neg 1.6. So I call that about as good as we're gonna get. Look, neg 1.4. And at 450, neg 1.3. And 467, so 462, neg 1.9. So I mean, of course that's the repeater output for GMR. This is 467, but I'll call that good. I don't really care about 450. I'm not doing anything in 450. Let's look at how far we changed it. Let's go down. So it rolls off now at about, well, right at 440. Yeah, right at 440. So I'm happy with that. And then on the other side, 70. It's rolling off at 482, somewhere in there. So we just moved it, shifted it downwards. I don't care too much about that either. I just care about, actually, ham and and GMRS. That's all I care about. Like 1.4. I think that's probably about my best I've done on 440. Like I said, I've done 6 of these. This is number 6. And that's about what they come out as, so... Well, that does it. I'll put the preamp on this, and we'll see what it does afterwards. Here, I'll show you. This is what this one looks like. Absolutely horrendous. Neg 104. I bet we've changed that quite a bit. Here's one I just did, the last one. 12 dB synad, neg 120. That was the last one I did, and he started at neg 112. So he gained 8 dB for 20 dB synad. This one's weird because it opens at 20 dB. They're kind of random. I don't have on that one. Let's see. Receiver open. Neg 108. This is another good one. There's 12 dB gain right there. This is the preselector for that one look like. For that was 138. Neg 10. So now this is the one I'm working on. So you started at neg 12. So now I'll fill this in and we'll put the preamp in it and we'll see how it does.